Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Frank, the Great Grizzly of the North, and tonight I will be shoutcasting for you once again. As with before, my computer's processor is still kind of messed up, so I do apologize for the lag. But tonight, excuse me. What was I trying to say there? Oh yes, tonight we have Team YoloMid versus Team Wolfpack. And we're just waiting for our final invite. And apparently Xander is saying it is our last chance to watch a guy eat a 7-pound burrito in 3 minutes. Fun stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the class we bring to League of Legends. Oh man. Yep. Currently waiting for Frozen. Tonight, our players are Ambio, Count Tabasco, Cool Cat, Xander441, Zep, David is King, Frozen, Hectix, Dusty Juice Box, and then there's me casting. This is thoroughly exciting. So how is everybody in the chat doing tonight? All four of you. I feel incredibly loved. Frozen, causing a backup in match time, as always. And apparently some people can't connect to the chat. And that's okay. I still love you. And now we're waiting for Cool Cat. Oh man. It's always a waiting game. But it kind of embodies League of Legends, don't you think? You have to wait for that perfect opportunity to attack, wait for the right team fight, wait to go all in. So, it's pretty fitting that we're waiting on our champions. And by the way, I do believe that Ryan, hold on, let me find who it is exactly. Yes, Frozen, who is on Twitch TV/Frozen, is streaming it from his point of view. And it's going to be on a 3-minute delay from what you'll see. No, that'll be about standard delay. Should have about a standard delay. That would be from his point of view. It'll be about 3 minutes behind us, actually. And you can see it from their point of view. You can hear them talking strategy, all the like. But you'll not be able to see where everyone's positions are on the map just from his POV. Alrighty, getting right into the bands. first ban is Varus, followed by Vayne. Since everybody enjoyed this more than seeing me last time. There you are. Mumu following up Vayne. Mumu always a good ban due to his high mobility, getting into those ganks, and the high utility of that ultimate, just being able to lock down an entire team at once. Next ban, Rengar. Rengar still, even after some nerfs, very, very powerful champion. And Dabrab 2011, it can't be helped. As I said last night, my processor is damaged to a point that it's honestly surprising I can sustain any streaming at all. I apologize. I asked if any of the other streamers could do it or stream and allow me to Skype in, and it just wasn't possible for tonight. Next ban being picked up is Zed. Also an excellent ban due to his high mobility, high power, and that ultimate just being able to chunk people right away. And final ban, Lee Sin. To tell you the truth, I don't actually know if Frozen's really good with Lee. I've never really gotten that many chances to play with Frozen. First pick by Frozen, Jarvan the fourth. And thank you, Chris, for clearing that up. Cool cat. Excuse me. Anyhow, as I was trying to say, our picks on this side. We have Elise, we have Jax, being picked up by a cool cat and Ambio. Next pick's Hectix and Dusty Juicebox. Ooh, picking up a Nunu. Nunu jungle. Nunu has proven himself very recently to be a very powerful jungle. Able to do a level 3 dragon. All kinds of ridiculous fun stuff with Nunu. Now we're waiting for Hectix. Hectix picking up Draven. And I have played with Hectix. Hectix can be mean Draven. And yes, Brob 2011, you are correct. He's very newbie. Tabuno is picking up Ezreal. And a Jaina. For bot lane. Taboo Noise picking up Smite on Ezreal. On blue team, we have Tarek support and waiting for our final pick for David as king. And David as king is picking up Ribbon. Now our final pick before the match, Xander 441. Picking up Cho'Gath. That is a fair point. If you can jungle Urgot, you can jungle Ezreal. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that's a good life choice. And I assume something like that would happen. Swapping in Cho'Gath for Ezreal. I mean, I've also seen jungle Orianna, but let's be honest here, it's not necessarily the best thing. Now all of the opponents are making their final preparations, leading us into the 3-minute wait. But looking at the two teams, I kind of got to give it to blue team for right now, on the aspect of they have a lot of CC. They have a ton of CC. Ribbon has a stun, Draven has a knock to the side that also slows, Nunu has a slow and his ultimate, Tarek has his stun, and Jarvan has a slow and his ultimate to box people in. And in fact, they could box people inside of a Nunu ultimate. With that being said, Ezreal is highly mobile, Jax is highly mobile, Cho'Gath not so much, but can sustain himself quite well. They are all going to have that increased movement speed from Janna's passive. She's going to have some knockups, and Elise can get out of a lot with her repel, and also increase movement speed in spider form. So, with that being said, I'm still kind of going to give it to blue team. They have a lot more catch potential, in my opinion. And they do have the Janna heal, but I don't know how much that's really going to factor in the grand scheme of things. I think it'll definitely help. Heals are never going to hurt by the nature of what a heal is. But at the same time, that's on a much higher cooldown than, say, Tarek stun, or Draven knock, or Nunu slow, or Riven stun for that matter. But I've been wrong in the past, and I'll be wrong in the future. We'll just have to see how this game starts out. Once again, for anybody who's just now joining us, I do apologize for the quality, and I apologize for the lag that you will see. My processor is not in good shape, and I tried to get some of the other casters underneath me to do it, and they couldn't for tonight. So, I'm what you got. And it's going to be crappy, at least visually, until I get my new motherboard and my new processor. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the match. Also, if our wonderful and powerful president is still watching the stream, if you would do me a favor and put the Twitch link in our Facebook, you would be amazing. Go and do it. Thank you, sir. Alright, now on to the battle that is the most important. As we all know, League of Legends is pay to win. I know we talk about this every time, and it's never true, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Skin battle. Gotta give it to Blue with that Soul Reaver Draven, even though it was a King of the Champions skin. I always liked it. And Warring Kingdom's Jarvan IV is just greatly outweighs Frosted Ezreal. But come on now, bruv. They have... Jesus! Oh. Not entirely sure what that was. Anyhow, as I was saying, Blue Team has Taric, though. You don't get much more fabulous than Taric. I mean, look at that. Nope, too late. You will look at nothing. Wow. I think Nunu might actually be going for the level 3 dragon. Hence the Explore Award.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Oh, Blue Team invading Purple Jungle. Purple's gonna back right off away from that. They do not want to engage. Draven being very powerful early game.
"30 seconds until minions spawn."
Purple Team now trying to invade Blue's jungle. Blue already having a ward, but Riven is being split off from the group. Got to be very careful, especially with the rest of Blue backing off. Blue is trying to go around him, though Blue's ward is down. Purple Team making the decision to back off, not finding it worth it. All the teams heading to their respective jungle. Tabuno is picking up his blue, Nunu picking up his blue. But Draven is early in his lane, and that could potentially lead to a lot of early experience. Riven mid. Oh no, I had Mooney there. My apologies. Interesting tactic by Frozen. Bot lane being pushed all the way to Purple's turret. Raven not wanting to give any experience up. Currently, trades are going for Jarvan. Back in the mid, Riven has taken a lot of damage. Xander's hitting the Cocoon, hitting her hard, but Frozen's turning that around with a potion and the shield. Xander gonna use the repel and get out of there. A lot of farming going on, but I'm a little concerned for Frozen in the mid lane. While Frozen doesn't have to rely on mana, so he can stay there a lot longer, going against Elise could cause lots of trouble for him in the long run. Shogath trying to come in for the gank, not going to be able to hit that Rupture. But as I was saying, while there is no mana factor there, the range advantage... Oh! Dirty Juice Box and Frozen trying to go on Shogath. Gonna hit both of them in the Rupture. Shogath's gonna have to flash away. Oh, Jarvan coming in with the combo. Shogath is gonna hit a Rupture on 2 of them. First Blood is going to go to Frozen, picking it up on Shogath. In fact, that gives Frozen the red buff. The blue buff must have just gone out as Frozen killed him. But that red buff is going to go a long way for Frozen. Jax, though, coming in. Frozen hitting the stun, but Frozen's not going to be able to make it away. Getting caught by the two. Ooh, Ambio being chased through his jungle. Cho'Gath coming in with full health. Gonna force them off. Frozen getting hit by the Cocoon, taking a fair amount of damage, and having to back off. And that's kind of what I was talking about. Just, there's a lot of damage that Xander can put out as Elise. And a lot of cooldowns that he doesn't have to be concerned with in that spider form. And extra damage from the spider rings. Frozen's going to be forced back away from that tower. Bot lane, almost a perfect tie in CS. Ezreal only down by 2, by 1. Xander calling in Taboo Noise to hold the lane. I do apologize for what's about to happen, but 1 moment. This will cut down the lag a little bit more. I do apologize, as I say, broken process. Will be a small lag spike while everything's adjusting itself. Or I broke it. #1 caster, NA. Oh, there we go. Frozen taking a lot of damage, Elise just punishing for Riven. Every time Riven walks in for some CS, gonna be punished. Currently Purple has a lot of vision across the map, at least watching out for ganks. I will say this, as much as Riven is getting just punished, Elise is not able to keep up that farm under the tower. Nunu calling the team in for Dragon. They're going to get that uncontested. Mind you, Zep, excuse me, Zep and Hectix are both 6, Janna 6, and Cool Cat 6. Oh, fight in the jungle at the blue. Reese coming in. Ooh, just barely gonna get away. Thanks to that stun, but Hectix is not gonna be so lucky. Hectix gonna get caught up, trying to put damage onto Elise. As Elise went after Nunu, got caught up by that turret stun. Hectix paid the price for being cut off from his team. Josh is putting a lot of damage down. Going to use the ultimate, forcing Ambio's flash. I'm going to put down some damage under that tower. Her shield making it easy work to do. David is King has pushed Ambio all the way back. Oh, the Dravenall just clipping him. David having to flash out, low on mana. Ambio is going to make it away with barely any help. Frozen trying to cut him off, but instead turning on Shogat, using the ultimate, putting down Shogat. You know, I was correct that Riven would take a lot of punishment from that Elise due to the range and not a lot of and her high amount of cooldowns that she can just blast spell after spell. But Riven's done an excellent job. She's roamed when she's needed to. She's up about 25 CS and just keeping that tower pushed as hard as she can. Frozen putting a lot of damage on, but it's going to take a tower shot. And Elise is going to get a lot of that health back into spider form. Riven is going to be forced back to base. Probably ready to buy. Picking up Hex Drinker straight out. And Boots. Trying to put as much damage on the Jack as possible. A lot of damage as soon as Frozen gets back to the lane. But Frozen does have red and blue buff from Shogat, and that's going to go a long way for Riven to win that lane. Riven dashing away from the cocoon, getting the stun off, putting a lot of damage on his neck. Nunu catching Tabernors out in the jungle. Riven gonna come in, but Tabernor is feasting on the big red. Tabernor is not gonna make it out of there. The ultimates from Riven and Nunu slowing him and hitting him with the Wind Slash. not going to be able to escape. With the ultimate still active, going to try and put a lot of pressure onto Xander. Putting up the shield. Putting a lot of good damage on an opponent who has no mana. Nunu coming in between the towers. Trying to get something to happen, but it's not going to work out. Not enough minions. Ezreal completely out of mana. Janna having taken some pretty good damage there. Falling the very bone. And like I said, when we were looking at the champion select, I did have to give this to blue, though the kills are very even right now. We're almost 3k gold disadvantage purple. And like I said, they're doing very well. They have a good team for catching people out. Draven heading towards the middle. Taric heading towards the middle. Blue team trying to pick up the tower, trying to get some kills. They're going to back off. Cool Count Tabasco heading back. They pushed their way as far as they could. Taking this opportunity to go back, get some mana, get some health, start buying items. Xander heading in the jungle, stop Nunu from getting the blue buff. Nunu is gonna pick up that blue. Oh no, I'm sorry. Cho'Gath got it. Nunu using the ultimate, but it's gonna be put down by Tabernnoise. Trade for Elise. Tabernnoise trying to get out of there. Coolcat coming in to help him out. Ambio teleporting down, but Riven is gonna dash out of there. And Draven's gonna get free damage on the Coolcat. But taking a silence directly to the face. Barrel speed. Not entirely sure how Tark didn't get hit by that rupture. Anybody else see that? Oh, Ambio getting stunned. Jumping out, but it's not going to be soon enough. He's going to get picked up by Riven. He's now on a rampage. Riven 5-1, being an incredibly powerful mid lane right now. Jarvan and Riven trying to take that tower. Cho'Gath is going to come in, so is Elise and is Ezreal. Put a lot of damage down. Ezreal getting slow. Frozen got caught back to True and burst straight down. David's King is very low on health. Elise is going to repel onto him. Tried to get her under the tower, wasn't going to be enough. And Elise is just going to get out. A rupture from Cho'Gath, making sure no one could follow him. Excellent move by Janna, being right where she needed to be to get that shield up, to help Elise get out of there as quick as possible, along with an excellent move from Cho'Gath, throwing up that rupture, preventing any movement from the opposing team. We're still at a 2k gold disadvantage for purple team. Back in lane. Picking up that blue buff for himself. Frozen getting the stun off, putting a lot of damage on Elise. But having to back out, just barely not getting hit by that rupture. Had Riven gotten hit by that rupture and then a cocoon, things could have gone very badly. Riven going after Cho'Gath, getting hit by that cocoon. Not able to make anything happen there. But she is forcing Elise to go back. Oh, the ultimate coming off from Jarvan. Ambio jumping to a minion, trying to get out of there. Nunu is going to use his ultimate, just missing it, hitting him with the slow. David is King is going to pick it up. Nunu at very low health. They've got to get out of there. Or Cho'Gath can come on and start cleaning them up. Here comes the Ezreal. Ezreal just missing Nunu. You know, Ezreal was a very good pick versus that Drake. Just for one aspect of this idea. Ezreal's high mobility, which is great, but now they both have an equal amount of pressure bot lane. Both of them have global ults that they can fire wherever they want to. So that was an excellent pick in my opinion. Just speaking pressure-wise, that is. Riven coming in the bot lane, gonna hit both of them with the stun. Count Tabasco is gonna go down. Ezreal flashing and Arcane shifting out of there, but he's gonna go down as well too, Riven. And Dirty Juicebox gets caught underneath the tower, having to flash out away from that rupture and that repel. Bot lane turret is going to go down. But I have a feeling it's going to get traded for mid-turret, and mid-turret, in my opinion, much more valuable. Shorter lane, shorter distance, a lot more damage. Blue, though, is going to pick up the dragon. They're going to pick it up completely uncontested. Purple team making a hard push up top, trying to force Jarvan away from the tower. Gonna hit him with the combo, but he's gonna get stuck. Jarvan is gonna put him in the ultimate, trying to lock him under the tower, and it's not gonna be enough. All you gotta do is move away. I'm gonna have to say, I think Jarvan should have let him have it.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Blue team losing a second turret in only moments of each other. Nunu going in with the ult, but gonna get cancelled by Janus Tornado. There's a good chance that they will take the other mid turret. They are having to back off. They're gonna get caught out by Cho'Gath. Gonna hit Nunu with the rupture. Silence Riven. A lot of damage going to that. Kind of surprised that Cho'Gath did not feast there and try and pick up Riven. Ultimate was up. Blue team losing their tier 1 top and tier 1 middle. But they have successfully taken tier 1 bottom and tier 1 mid. So, fairly even. Fairly even. I will say Blue definitely has an advantage in gold. They are 4K above Purple Team. Anyone wanting to see them, here are the gold values per champion. Hectic's keeping about a 20 minion lead on... excuse me. On Cool Cats. Almost 30. Jarvan trying to push his lane, wants to take that tower. But top lane, both on equal standing. Here comes Riven and Nunu from behind. Let's see if he can get him underneath that. Riven gonna hit him with the stun. The ultimate going off from David is King, and down goes Ambio.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
And down goes Purple Team's top tower. Trying to push that wave in as far as they can. Cho'Gath and Elise showing up, gonna try and push him back. And going to succeed. 4 members of Purple Team trying to push down mid. They want to get another tower, equal up those towers. They'd love to get that second tier. Just keep the pressure on Blue Team as hard as possible. It's not going to be able to happen right now. All 5 members of both teams heading towards the mid lane. The Purple Team is going to back up to that fight. They want it under the turret. They want every advantage they can possibly get. Draven almost getting caught out there. Ambio pushing bot back out, which could leave his team in a very dangerous position. As all 5 members are not in the mid. Blue team having 4 to their 2 currently. Ooh, both knockups hit. Where am I? Oh, Cool Cat is gonna get out of there using his flag. But Purple Team is gonna lose its mid turret. Second tier mid turret to Blue. 4 turrets to 2. Shogat hitting the Rupture and the Feral Scream. Janet just missing the Tornado. There will be no Cocoon. Nunu gonna use the ultimate in the bush. Gonna pick up Cool Cats. Nunu gonna get the second kill on Janna. Third kill going to Frozen. Cho'Gath gonna be put down by Hectics. Only a surviving member is Jax, and he is split pushing bottom. And he is split pushing hard. But I honestly don't think that Jax can out base race Riven, Draven, Ezreal, and Nunu. Second tier is gonna go down to Jax. But Jarvan 4th is heading in. Purple losing their 3rd tier tower, or their inhibitor turret. They're forcing that inhibitor down. That inhibitor is gonna go to Frozen. Jax fending off Jarvan, but it's really not that important. All Jarvan's trying to do is slow him down, keep him away from any more towers or inhibitors or anything that he could possibly get his hands on. And he did a perfect job at that. If he could have killed him, great. Forcing him away from that, even better. Blue team gonna pick up Purple's red. They are bailing out. Top lane is now gonna push heavily towards the Nexus. They're gonna have to have someone defending that most of the time. Purple gonna pick up direction. They're gonna be able to do that uncontested. Blue having no vision and no one close enough to even try and stop them. Nunu's gonna pick up the blue, but he's been knocked up twice. Oh, Elise missing the cocoon. Frozen coming in, trying to stun him. But that Janna ult is gonna force that chase in immediately. Blue not having any vision, not gonna know about the dragon. Ezreal trying to clear up that top lane. Going to be very hard with the super minions heading in. And now blue team is forcing their way up the bot lane. Trying to get another tower. They really want to get that next inhibitor. put as much pressure as they possibly can on the purple. To tell you the truth, I would not be surprised to see a Riven ban, just because Riven has been very powerful this game. We'll see about that next game. Jack's coming in along with these. Not going to be able to catch him. Blue team taking whatever advantage they got there. A little bit of damage on the tower. They're going to bail out as quickly as possible. Zep getting caught in that cocoon. Going to be hit by the fire. The rest of Purple is turning on the Frozen. There's nothing Frozen to do. Frozen got first down by all 5 members of the team. Out of position. Purple team working on getting a new side advantage on it. Zep being chased down by Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is gonna walk away from that fight. Raven picking up a blue and a red. And both of those buffs make Raven a very powerful foe to be dealt with. 20 CS over Ezreal. And now with free mana and extra damage. That hitting the Taric stun. David's King was very slow from that rupture. Not much is gonna happen to Cho'Gath. Blue trying to push that lane in again. Nunu taking the cocoon to the face. Frozen getting knocked up twice by a tornado and the rupture. Watching Hectic's gonna pick up that turret. Throwing out the ultimate, trying to put some close down. But Pukas is gonna pick up Zed. Robin going in, getting pushed out of his own. He's having to run away. Jack's going very hard for him. David's team going down to Xander. Oh, sorry. Xander going down to David's team. But Jarvan's going to be picked up by Ezreal. Jack's going to be picked up by Riven. Draven's going to put down Cho'Gath. And Ezreal's going to get caught out by Riven. There's the double kill by Draven for the ace. Nunu, Draven, and Riven are up. That's going to be a lot of damage. Got the Blood Boil, just the increased damage from Riven. They're going to put down that inhibitor, they're going to take down the other turret, and the final inhibitor, and they're going to push their way into the Nexus.
Purple team's inhibitor has been destroyed.
10 seconds left on Ezreal, 1 on Cho'Gath, 3 on Jenna. Blue's just going to try and get that other inhibitor, put it back down, force as much pressure into their base as they can. Blue team now taking an advantage, getting out of there. All members of Purple team are up. They're trying to clear out their base. Purple is going to have a lot of super minions to contend with. They're down almost 10k gold. I'm not saying that I would deny them a comeback. I'd say it's very possible, but looking at it right now, gonna give it to Blue team. And with that being said, I wouldn't, as I said earlier, I wouldn't be necessarily surprised to a Riven ban. I really wouldn't. Ezreal thrown arrows will mean if they have that. Blue team's gonna come in. Try and force his Baron down as quickly as possible. The Purple team is going to have to stay in place. Force out those super minions. Purple team picking up Baron. I believe they're going to push for the finish. Almost all members of Blue Team are full health. All they have to do is take one or two of them out or have one more deciding team fight, and this match is over. Two missing, Spider going in. Purple Team is trying to force out those minions, get some power, start working on the enemy tank. Jarvan's going to go in with the ultimate. Down goes Janna. Junior's going to pick up Elise. Try and get that ultimate up. Force him down, Jax. Purple Team's going to lose the right Nexus turret. They're going to lose the left Nexus turret. And down goes the Nexus. Ladies and gentlemen, first game to Frozen Hectic's Dusty Juicebox, Zep, and David is king.